What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. And if you are, make sure you head over to thequartering.com and you'll get a prompt that says allow notifications. And when you do that, you will guarantee you're going to get notifications on your mobile phone or desktop of all the videos I upload, whether I'm covering something in video games or I'm covering pop culture or movies. It goes around. We don't have to trust this existing system. It's been working. There are hundreds of people signed up already. It's obviously free. Make sure you do that quick. The advertising around Joker is reaching peak levels of absurdity. And by advertising, I mean moronic journalists making absurd claims about a movie that will only serve to get people to want to go see it. There are articles here on Yahoo Lifestyle as well as Vice that have some of the most absurd headlines and lines of, as they would call it, logic that I've ever seen in my life. All it's doing is making me more excited to see the movie on opening night. Quote, Joker is a dangerous film. It's bringing out the worst in the internet. By Kathleen Newman, Breaming, hyphenated last name, curious. Here's Vice. Joker is a terrifyingly realistic window into white T-word, bad behavior. We need to reckon how closely his villain mirrors real life bad people and poisonous ideologies they subscribe to. By Noel Ransom. Interesting last name, Noel. These articles are hilarious. You wonder how these people even get through the day. How do they leave their homes ever? I'm guessing that they don't, because everything they see is shockingly terrifying. Now, this article, Joker, this was from, 2 days ago, had its North American premiere at Toronto International Film Festival on Monday. In the days since, takes have been coming in hot. On Twitter, the reaction seems to fall into two camps. It's either a near-perfect masterpiece, sounds like normal people, or a dangerous manifesto for radical and lonely white men who may look into Arthur Fleck's deranged descent into the Joker of comic book lore as heroic instead of villainous. That's right, because everyone out there watches movies and imitates them in real life. Everybody who saw Rambo, I know I've always wanted to wield a lightsaber and fight the Sith in real life as well. It's just a movie. It's curious, though, that they don't talk about other movies with, let's say, other people of any other color in the lead role in the same manner, even though they might be just as brutal. It's curious, isn't it? Nobody's saying that Blade is a dangerous film because it's going to make black folks want to run out there and fight zombies. They're movies. They're just picking this movie because it gets sensational headlines and they get to, they think they're driving a lot of clicks, which maybe they are. But unfortunately for them, their clicks, everybody that reads this article will see just how stupid these people are, and they're just trading clicks for their credibility, which is not a trade that any real person would ever want to make. The reality is that the film and most of its thoughtful critiques fall somewhere in between. Joker is an impressive cinematic achievement featuring an extraordinary performance by Joaquin Phoenix as Fleck and its poisonous story for a fraught time. Did we really need a brutal movie about a white figure who uses bad things that I don't like to enact revenge on a society that rejects him? And did we need it now? Yeah, did we need a live-action Aladdin film? No, we didn't. Did we need a live-action Bambi film or Lion King film? No, we didn't need that either. They're movies. By their definition, they are for entertainment and they are not needed. There is nothing about modern cinema that is needed. So you're begging this question that doesn't apply to any other movie except for this one. Curious. Must be real hard for you to get on through life. I think the answer to the question is no. Ultimately, Joker is a story that empathizes with this person we don't like. Fleck is a clown for hire, aspiring comedian. Yes, we know the story. I do yawn at the idea of another story in which white men are offered a sort of understanding for their bad behavior. That's exactly why I couldn't enjoy the film, even though I do concede that it's really well done. So, do you enjoy anything in life? Have you had any relations that were consensual? Have you ever smiled authentically, laughed authentically? I don't think so. It sure seems like you live a sheltered life, one that lives in fear of everything. In response to her piece, she received emails with subject lines including a white dude's feedback on your review, and one accused her of disliking white folks. Well, of course, it's obvious that she does. Or at least she's writing these type of articles to get those headlines. Now, certainly there are quote-unquote journalists, we'll call them bloggers, that write things that they don't believe to get clicks, of course. And maybe this person in general doesn't feel that way, but when you write articles with headlines like this, or the one on Vice, you can't blame people for wondering. And it's an age-old question that I ask when we look at these articles all the time, and we're going to get to the Vice one in a second, but replace a color in any one of these articles. Change the word white to black or brown or whatever, right? Do you think this article would ever exist? Do you think that they would be so gleefully writing the things that they're writing if it was about a different color? These are questions that I think are reasonable to ask when you're talking about what their motivations are. Again, I can't say what Kathleen Newman Breeming feels in her heart of hearts, but I can analyze what Kathleen wrote, and it's ridiculous. The fact that critics, mostly women, are facing the wrath of what? Maybe it's because they write horrible articles like this. The fact that critics, mostly women, again, unfounded, you have no idea, no statistics, no screenshots, nothing to back up this claim, but you're just going to say that, are already invoking the fanboy venom we've become accustomed to. Yeah, here's, oh my God, this is probably the worst, most ridiculous article I've ever read. I'm going to take something I know people like, and we're going to call that a wasp's nest, okay? A big one. Not the funny one that like Winnie the Pooh gets his honey from. I'm talking about a hornet's nest, because that's exactly what fandoms are. Whether you're a Star Wars fan or you're a fan of Magic the Gathering, you're a fan of Call of Duty, it doesn't matter. You protect that thing. That's part of being a fan. How about a sports team? You could argue the same thing there. So I'm a writer, right? I'm going to pick up a rock and I'm going to chuck it at that. And then I'll be like, why am I getting stung? Ugh, these bees don't like women. Imagine being that person. Imagine being that profoundly dumb. Given that Joker discourse is holding up a mirror to the worst parts of the internet, I'm expecting some blowback myself. That's okay. I'm a black woman. So? Again, I didn't know that going in, and it doesn't make your opinion any more or any less valid. These people think about race all day, every day. People that write this kind of stuff. It's the only lens they see the world through. And you could say the same thing about people's, preferences in the bedroom as well. This is how they live their life. Obsessed with it. Obsessed with things that most normal people don't care about. Most people are just going about their day. I'm a black woman with a Twitter account and opinions. I'm used to it. Oh, I like the implication there that people don't like you because of the color of your skin. I like that little implication. People aren't coming at you and critiquing you for the things that you say. No, it's because of how you look. Then we look at the Vice article by Noel Ransom. I can only imagine he enjoys his lattes tall, skinny, and soy-filled from Starbucks. After Joaquin Phoenix gets mugged in Joker and coworkers lends him a weapon to protect himself, I thought about the times last month when a white man did something I didn't like. You did? Who watches movies like this? What did you think when you saw Alien? Were you thinking about that time? How about Independence Day? Were you thinking about that time Will Smith, a black man, was handed a weapon and did something bad? How about Men in Black? Were you thinking about the same thing? See, exposing these people's hypocrisy and rage bait is so exceedingly easy, but it's still an important job to do. It's an important thing that when you see articles like this, you point out just how hilariously transparent and stupid they really are. Yes, Joker's latest film by Todd Phillips is the villain. Okay, full stop. So people understand he's the villain. We've seen before. Not as a nihilist clown to the archetypical Batman, but as the angry white man obsessed with validation. How about just an angry man? Oh, with that, you've probably written that article too. I don't think anything about the Joker film has anything to do with his whiteness. I suppose I'll have to wait and see with the rest of us because I don't get access level journalism. I see the movie with everyone else. Since it premiered last month, critics have drawn parallels between the disturbed clown and the manifestations of white masculinity in contemporary America. What? Sure, people have drawn that conclusion, drawn that parallel, but it has nothing to do with the movie. What about, how come nobody says anything about Jason Voorhees being a bad white guy? I mean, he's literally a villain going around and doing horrible things in every film. How come they're not writing about that? I mean, this is so stupid. Everyone's just jumping on this hate train for Joker because they'll get this video, right? Because the video that, you know, talks about an honest take about a film doesn't get clicks. It doesn't get reactions. To me, this is a fun pastime, making fun of idiots. See, the thing is, either you are this dumb, which I'm inclined is at least a 50% chance, or you're paid to write about things and lie, which is almost worse in my opinion. Imagine having that job. I'm paid to write articles to make people mad. No, I don't believe anything I'm saying. I'm just here to get clicks. Imagine that existence. Imagine going to work all day for your 1 hour a day and then coming home and feeling good about yourself, feeling like you've added something to the cultural zeitgeist. These people do, in my opinion, must think that, but it isn't for the money. It isn't for the prestige because, as I've said before, they're all willingly trading clicks for any credibility they ever had. That's why writers don't stick around long. That's why writers at Vice are unrecognizable, because they're constantly changing, because people start to recognize a writer's name and know that they are liars. Early in Joker, we're given a near skeletal glimpse of Phoenix as Arthur Fleck before he transforms. He's a socially awkward loner who lives with his sickly mother, works a dead-end job as a clown for hire. As an adult, he's been bullied, called a freak. He obsesses over the idea that he lives in a society. I live in a society that couldn't care less about his problems. Yeah, welcome to everybody. Nobody cares about your problems. He grins through smeared makeup. He comes off as equal part madness and pain. Okay, what's wrong with that? Oh, because he's white. I forgot. If Joaquin Phoenix was a black man, you'd be talking about how this performance was transcendent, right? Because literally your only critique is about his skin color. I mean, I don't know how else to put this. Earlier versions of the Joker never provided a real explanation for what made him a villain. What? Okay, all right. So you've never read the comics, you know nothing about Joker. You know nothing about his origin. Okay, I get it. I love that you've written this. You've admitted that you did zero research. His lack of a background story allowed him to remain a figure whose actions could be blamed on the fact that he was, quote, crazy. He didn't care for money or order. His only obsession with a single man. Everyone else was a casualty. Isn't that an explanation? Sometimes people are just crazy. They don't have to have a deep-rooted reasoning for it. And how about all the great monologues that the Joker had in the Dark Knight series that shed light? How about all the years of comic books that shed light on who the Joker was? A simple Google search could have told you why he is the way he is, but you don't care about that. But just because a film shows a toxic white male in all his ugliness doesn't mean it's automatically celebrating him. The debate over whether depicting absolute evil in a film is the same as endorsing it goes as far back as 1967 film Bonnie and Clyde. Yes, and he also talks about Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing from 1989. Again, same thing. Again, same argument from out-of-touch critics who don't understand how normal people act in this world. North America's obsession with tucking away ugliness was as much a problem back then as it is now, when every month seems to bring another reminder of white men who do bad things and live long after their victims. Yeah, how about all the people in downtown Chicago? A lot of white folks doing that, huh? I mean, give me a break. These people are they're just openly saying these things out there because the Joker is white. Imagine saying these things about any other movie character who is a different color. I can't, it's so hilarious to me. It makes me really think. I mean, this is the same website that has Florida man fired for farting, the story of Paul Flart. I mean, hard-hitting reporting. Remember when Vice used to actually do something other than just write rage bait? All this is going to do is sell more tickets to the movie, something that I'm starting to think Vice and other people are actually paid to do. The film will likely review in the high 80s after all the critics have said their say, and probably in the high 80s after all the fans have said their say. Maybe the 90s. The film looks excellent. It may not be your thing. You may not be into the Batman, Joker. You may be done with quote-unquote superhero films, but I think Joker doesn't really qualify as a quote superhero film. I think it qualifies as something a little deeper than that, a little more complex than that. But hey, what do I know? You know, I'm just a white male, and you know, I'm probably the root of all that is wrong with the world. Not you know, and not people's opinions. People aren't getting critiques on their opinions. I'm not critiquing any of these people's opinions. You know, it's because of who they are and what they look like, even though I don't know anything about it. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed Joker this opening weekend, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Above, you'll find some links to watch more videos, as well as a nice big button to subscribe, which I hope you'll do. If you did enjoy it, make sure before you go that you leave a like and a comment on the video, because you are the #1 reason this channel continues to grow, and I appreciate you.